What's up, Bills Mafia? Today we're going to be talking about what player stock went up and what went down following the win versus the Chicago Bears this past Saturday. But before we get to that, let's get to that intro.
This is Preseason Music.
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. I am Tommy. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell because I always forget to tell you. Well, Bills Mafia, today we're going to be talking about what players' stock went up and what went down following the win versus Chicago Bears this past Saturday. It was the final game of preseason week 3, and the starters did play because Sean McDermott wanted to basically say, hey, let's do a retake of week 2 because week 2 from with the starters was sloppy. So he wanted to see a better performance out of the starters, and he saw just that. And the starters looked very good on that opening drive, mistake-free, penalty-free, scored a touchdown. So the starters were pulled right after that. That's all you wanted to see, and that's all I think everyone wanted to see, right? Bills Mafia was like, hey, all right. Now let's get to the regular season. So anyways, guys, let's get to this stock up, stock down. Once again, I want to say thank you to Bills Wire for doing this article. And let's see who they got with the stock up, stock down. All right. First on their list is an ad popping up. No. Stock down. Kyle Allen. Okay. See, I don't know. I'm iffy on that. Let's see what they have to say. Allen did not have the most crisp performance against the Chicago Bears on Saturday. While he played well enough at points in the first 2 preseason games, Allen struggled to get anything going against the Bears as he threw an interception and lost a fumble. The quarterback 2 battle rages on. That is false. I'm sorry. I totally disagree with that. I think Kyle Allen's first performance was terrible, and his second performance wasn't so bad. When he came in for Matt Barkley, because Matt Barkley was quarterback 2 in the week 2 game against the Steelers. And that's where Matt Barkley, Matt Barkley shined week 1. And Kyle Allen, I thought, did so much better in week 2. And then week 3, Matt Barkley, of course, is injured. So Kyle Allen got pretty much the whole game except for the first series. And I thought he did okay. There was some bad throws. Obviously, the interception was very bad. And the fumble, man, Kyle Allen, buddy, you got to understand the pocket there. You got to understand how long you have to hold the ball until you need to get rid of it because the pressure's coming. You got to feel that pressure. And he just had the ball out there. And unfortunately for him, he fumbled it. So I didn't think it was a terrible performance. So I don't know if his stock went down. His stats of the day were 18 of 34 for 162 yards, a 4.8 average. The average not very good. 1 touchdown, 1 interception, quarterback rating of 63.6. So yeah, not the greatest day. I didn't think it was the worst performance in the world, but he definitely is going to be QB2. Let's be real. I told you guys that from the beginning of preseason. Actually, I told you guys that in the offseason, but I'm still not satisfied with it. And let's just hope we never have to see him in a regular season game, unless it's just, we're destroying a team and fine, put Kyle Allen in there. But I'm not happy with either Kyle Allen or Matt Barkley. And the only reason I think that Kyle Allen is a better option than Matt Barkley is because he has a better arm. He's more mobile, than Matt Barkley. And, he's just a younger quarterback. And I think he could fit this offense a little bit better than Barkley can, because Barkley is very limited in what he can do. And listen, Barkley is here for one reason. He is a practice squad quarterback, in my opinion. He's a leader. I think he could be probably a quarterback coach maybe in the future, but he is no backup quarterback. If we had to rely on either one of these guys, it would be a disaster. But if we had to rely on Matt Barkley, it would be even worse. So, no, Kyle Allen for sure is going to go into the season as QB2 unless they wind up picking up another quarterback who gets cut from another team when cuts are made Tuesday. That I could possibly see happening. But other than that, if they can't find anybody out there in the free agency, then yeah, no, Kyle Allen will be your backup quarterback for 2023. All right, so let's see who they got next on this list. So, by the way, on the stock down, I'm going to be neutral on that because obviously it didn't go up, but I don't know if it went down, and I don't think there's still a battle at QB2. He is the guy. Stock up, Darrington Evans, for sure, man. He had a really good game. After Saturday's explosive performance against Chicago, Darrington Evans is making a great case to be the backup to starter James Cook. Not only did Evans have an uber efficient day on the ground, he had an incredible touchdown run of 35 yards that showed his ability to get downhill and break tackles. Yeah, man. Listen, man, that was an impressive run. But I think Bill's Wire is wrong here. Not on the stock up. I think his stock did go up, but as far as being a backup to James Cook, I just can't see that. I don't see that happening. Practice squad, sure. But listen, Latavius Murray had himself a hell of a training camp. He had a good preseason, and they're not giving up on Damian Harris just yet. I would be very surprised if he makes the squad here, Evans. I think he's, like I said, he's a practice squad guy, and maybe he gets scooped up by another team. You know, he's like last year's Blackshear, right? That's what he is this year for us, and I just can't see him making the team. He like I said, he looked impressive. I thought he's had a good preseason, but you're not beating out Murray and you're not beating out Harris, in my opinion. So, no, he doesn't make the 53. He makes the practice squad. But yeah, I don't agree with he's making a great case to be the backup to James Cook. I don't see that happening. All right, let's look who is next on their list. Stock down, wide receiver Andy Isabella, and I agree. Isabella is trying his best to ensure that he gets a roster spot once cuts are done later this week. However, as evident against the Bears, Isabella's primary value is in the return game. And on Saturday, he appeared to be shaky with his ball control and seemed to look less dynamic than Ty Johnson. Listen, I agree. I've been telling you guys that about his return game. I was not impressed with the film that I saw on him, which, by the way, is very minimal. There's just not a lot of film on this guy since he's been in the NFL. So the film I did see, not impressed. I was not impressed. I'm not saying the guy's slow or he can't do the job, but I don't see anything dynamic about him in the return game. And then Saturday, him fumbling the ball away is a big no-no, especially if you're trying to earn a spot on this team. The only way I see him making this team is if they see something with him on the offensive side of things, like if they feel like he could be a weapon on offense. And right now you got a crowded wide receiver room. So I don't know what they're going to do. It's very possible he makes a team because they like what he sees at wide receiver. But as far as kick return, punt return, nah, we're good, man. I think Hardy can handle that. I think Hardy's your safe bet. Hardy's been an all-pro kick returner with the Saints. So you're better off having Hardy back there, a guy that's been there, done that, than Isabella, who's, let's be real, second-round pick has not worked out. Did not work out for the Cardinals. Bounced around. I forget where he played for last year, but just a player who really hasn't done anything. And like I said before, though, he is intriguing on offense. He does have some good route running ability, and he does have the speed to get yards after catch. So that is intriguing. We'll see what they do with Shakir, because I'm hearing rumors about possibly him going on the IR. You never know. So anyways, let's look who is next on their stock up, stock down. Stock up, tight end Quentin Morris. Morris is fighting for the tight end 3 spot behind Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid, and he seems to be making a good case for seeing more snaps in the future. He had an impressive touchdown catch. Morris will most likely not see a lot of targets with Buffalo's offense, but if he does, he can evidently make some things happen. And I agree. Listen, Quentin Morris started coming around last year, making some plays, and there was rumblings how good he was doing in camp last year, and in camp this year. So Quentin Morris is one of those intriguing players. I think he makes the 53. I think he's your tight end 3. And I think if he does it, I think he deserved it. He's been, listen, by the way, that catch that he made for the touchdown, that was a phenomenal catch. And that was a very good throw by Kyle Allen, too. You can't take away the throw either. The throw was right on. But that was a great catch over the shoulder. Yeah, I mean, it was a beautiful, beautiful catch, beautiful throw. And I just like what he does. I think he's also a good blocker. So, yeah, I think for sure he makes the 53, and his stock did go up. All right, stock up. Cornerback Jamarcus Ingram. He had played a good game. Ingram had himself quite a day on Saturday. Not only was he one of the leading tacklers on the team with 4 total, 2 solo, 1 pass deflected, he was also playing tight coverage on the Bears receivers throughout the game. That resulted in the beauty of an interception that showed his mental process and quick instincts all at the same time. I agree, man. He had a really good game, but for him, I don't see him making the team. I could see him making, once again, this is another practice squad guy, but he's had a decent camp and he's had a decent preseason. He's definitely making a name for himself, and that's why he will probably make the practice squad. All right, so next on this list, let's see who they got next. Next up, stock up, edge, AJ Epinesa. Without seeming to be talking in a hyperbolic manner, Epinesa was in Chicago's backfield all game long. He racked up 2 tackles, both for losses, and he picked up a sack. If Buffalo wants to make it to the Super Bowl, they will need these kinds of efforts from Epinesa. And I agree. Listen, what we saw last year from AJ Epinesa was a step forward. It wasn't a leap forward. It wasn't a giant step forward, but it was definitely a step forward in his progress. And I like what I saw from him. If he can continue doing that, he's going to possibly either get an extension here in Buffalo or earn a contract somewhere else. He had 6.5 sacks last year. I at least want to see 8.5 to 9 sacks this year from AJ Epinesa. He has the opportunity while Von Miller is out. Like I said, man, he's an interesting player, but he hasn't quite yet lived up to the second round pick, but he's definitely took a step forward last year, and he's also playing very well in camp and preseason this year. So that's very good to see from AJ Epinesa. So I'm excited to see what he does this season. So yeah, definitely stock up for AJ Epinesa. All right, stock down. Let's get to it. Let's get to the stock down. Stock down. They got Buffalo's kicking unit. I agree. To put it bluntly, the Bills' kicking unit has seen better days. Not only did punter Sam Martin have a punt block, kicker Tyler Bass has also missed a field goal. There was also another long kickoff return allowed by the Bills. This unit is usually solid, so this isn't a concern for now, but Buffalo has to tighten up its kicking game, and I agree with this. So that is the last on that list, by the way, guys, and I agree. Listen, I like Tyler Bass. I love Tyler Bass. He was a steal for, 6th round when we got him. But the one thing I can say about Tyler Bass, he makes some boneheaded, does some boneheaded things, right? Like kicking the ball out of bounds on kickoff. You can't do that. You're letting the offense, the other team's offense start at the 40, and he did it multiple times last year. Can't have that happen this year. On offense starting at the 40, man, you're really putting the defense the backs against the wall there. You can't do that. And then missing extra points. Now he's been very good at that, but last year it almost cost us a game in Detroit. He missed the extra point where it would have put us up by 4. Instead, he missed it, and we were only up by 3, and they went down and kicked a field goal to tie the game. And luckily, we have such a great quarterback, Josh Allen. It was like 20-something seconds, drove down and kicked a field goal to win the game. And he made that field goal. So he made up for it, but at the same time, he almost cost us the game. Can't do that. This preseason, he's missed an extra point. Can't do that. And he's missed the easy field goal. Can't do that. The Sam Martin punt, the block, it is what it is. I don't think it's his fault. Special teams needs to be better there. But other than that, listen, man, I'm not too worried. Sam Martin is a very good punter. Tyler Bass is a very good kicker, but you got to start correcting those issues if you're Tyler Bass. Sam Martin, I'm not worried about at all. I've seen enough from Sam Martin to know what he did last year. I really don't see any flaws in his game. Tyler Bass, I think sometimes sometimes he has those boneheaded mistakes, and it could cost you a game. And we all know as Bills fans, it could also cost you a Super Bowl. So, Bass, come on, man, get your stuff together. We extended you. We gave you good money. Earn it, and don't miss those extra points. Don't miss those easy field goals, and stop kicking the ball out of bounds on kickoffs. Okay. Other than that, I love you, dude. But anyways, Bills Mafia. Oh, let me give you a bonus. By the way, can't believe they didn't put stock down. Tyrell Dodson, another stock down, big time. But guys, we're stuck with him. He is going to be probably your starting middle linebacker week 1. Either him or Klein. And I just have a feeling it's going to be Dodson. And like I said earlier in the offseason, I think they're going to shuffle throughout the whole season. 1 week it's going to be Klein, 1 week it's going to be Dodson. And you may see Dotson start a game, but not finish a game. Like, they're going to be shuffling in and out, in my opinion. I don't like either one. And I think Bernard right now is struggling with that injury, soft tissue hamstring, which can be a lingering injury, which is once again not good. And then you also got Spector, who got hurt Saturday, so he's totally out of the mix. Unless they could find a middle linebacker out there in time, this week, free agency or possible trade, we are stuck with these guys, man. It is what it is. But stock down on Dotson. I thought he played another bad game week 3. He was out of position a lot. That touchdown, the one that almost happened to the tight end who dropped the ball, that was on Dotson. Okay. So yeah, man, I'm just not comfortable at all with Dotson being in there at middle linebacker, but it is what it is. But his stock went down again. I just did not like his performance on Saturday. And he's just continuing to show that being made a huge mistake in not going out and getting a middle linebacker either through the draft or free agency. And also really for not giving Dorian Williams an opportunity to earn that job. When you drafted him, you said you saw him at middle linebacker, then you changed your mind and put him at outside linebacker. I thought his performance in the preseason was one of the best as far as linebackers go, and yet he got no opportunity at middle linebacker. And I just don't understand it, man. Because what do you got to lose at this point with Dotson, Klein, and a Bernard, who also, until we see real game action, is also a huge question mark. So I don't get that. So that's definitely stock down for Tyrell Dotson. And the Allen thing, Kyle Allen, like I said earlier, I'm not going to give him a stock down. I'm just going to be neutral on there. I don't think it's up or down. It's whatever. And that's where I got, man. So guys, Bills Mafia, comment below, stock up, stock down, who you got, who did I miss? And Bills Mafia, I love you. And as always, go Bills. I'm out of here. Peace.